Look, it's a flood.
The flood.
It's flooding.
Get away.
Quick, we need to get to higher ground.
Open the floodgates.
It was somebody, right?
Yeah.
And because like he was usually like working on the Republican campaigns, right?
Yeah.
He was trying to get them to lose, so he got Donald Trump to run in the Reform Party to split the vote,
Yeah.
and then he ended up making them lose the vote.
Yep.
But
And that's how Bill. Is that how Barack got voted?
no, that was
No.
Bill Clinton. I think won because of what the fuck was it? Ross Perot?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He took like 3% of the vote.
Republican vote, and they were pretty disappointed with George Bush Sr. after that point,
Yeah.
right?
If we're going to talk about people being disappointed in the head of an institution, let's talk about professional wrestling.
The greatest sports institution of all time. It's realer
Sports
than the NFL.
entertainment.
Yeah. Listen.
It's
yeah.
realer than the NFL.
What wrestling has done to American sports entertainment, right, is part of the reason why the Taylor Swift narrative exists this season.
Oh yeah, it's in the UFC too.
Yeah.
And that shit is really into the UFC as well. The whole narrative thing.
Yeah,
So
it's
let's,
everywhere.
let's just get a couple of the facts out of the way.
Vince McMahon's innocent.
Vince,
I don't even know what happened. I heard he got
Allegedly.
accused of some. He got accused of some sexual shit, sex
we
trafficking.
will get into it. Do you want to talk about the Netflix deal first, or do you want to talk about the Vince?
That is an
I
interesting.
feel like the Netflix
Okay,
deal will be funnier after we talk about Vince.
let's talk about both. And I have a no context conspiracy theory that I made with no information. Just like seeing the headlines, I was like, this seems like they're connected.
So, as of the moment, Vince McMahon has resigned as executive chairman of the board of the TKO Group Holdings, which is the parent company of
Within
WWE.
12 hours
Yeah.
of the Wall Street Journal article coming out.
Which is really bullshit because like, oh, he resigned, so you think he's not affiliated. The nigga still owns the shit, but
He doesn't own it anymore.
oh, he sold it.
WWE is actually owned by
TKO Business.
TKO Business, which also owns UFC. That was done.
Oh
months ago.
yeah, that was the
But he was still the chairman of the board of TKO Group Holdings.
And now
I think he
he
got
has
forced out.
resigned.
so he probably still has a huge stake in the company.
A financial investment in it, but I don't think he has any creative or executive power in it.
No, he's not the face of
I
it.
have another crazy opinion before we get into this.
Yeah.
When it comes to all the allegations, I think they're all guilty. I'm not defending anyone. The thing is, though, I think they're all political at the same time. Because I think everyone in Hollywood is a pedophile. But I think that they get mad at certain people and they kick them out of the club and then they expose them and they're like, this nigga's a pedophile. And he's like, nigga, we was all doing it. But then, like, I think that was like Michael Jackson and like Bill Cosby. They're all guilty. But I think it was like, maybe he was trying to buy NBC and they're like, we'll put out a video of you fucking a kid, you know? Like Jeffrey Epstein type shit.
I mean, listen, there's
That sounds more Harvey Weinstein.
So
but
I heard a conspiracy recently that, like, right? But it was that they allowed Jeffrey Epstein to cook because he was getting like
Blackmail.
dirt on people. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a blackmail factory, and they let him.
No,
once
I've heard about that one.
Yeah,
where it was
once-
like the first time Bill showed up there, Epstein had like a painting of him like naked with that woman made.
Oh yeah, well there's a dude named Ari Ben Minaj that was like a famous like Israeli spy.
Yeah,
And he came out just straight up and said like, yeah, I worked with Jeffrey Epstein, like he was a spy.
Yeah, I've heard that conspiracy theory too.
I mean, there's no way, right? Like, there's the whole conspiracy about like the British Crown and like that pedophile ring. I think
There's no
that-
way he wasn't involved in some shit, yeah.
I think that that's another one too. That's like, yeah, no, obviously, like they were just like cooking up dirt on these people. Like,
Real
oh, you-
conspiracy theory here. The real reason that Prince Harry left was because he knew these Epstein allegations were coming, and he's waiting until after all of the dust clears so he can actually blow his load on all of these allegations.
I think he left because I think he got forced out. I think he also got forced out, one, because that crazy ass bitch he married. But two, I don't think he's really...
It's making crazy.
She is crazy. But also, that nigga's not really a royal. That his mom cheated on the fucking prince and he's not that nigga's son. That nigga was not. Where the fuck he get red hair from? Neither one of the motherfuckers was redhead. She was fucking She was fucking like the security guard or some shit. Bro, that nigga is not her.
Saudi prince, wasn't she? Like
she was. That's why they killed her ass, because he was talking about, yeah, you know, they killed.
Well, Diana was a.
Bro, they killed Diana. She was a commoner and she was cheating on the nigga and had a baby.
Well,
had a baby
Meg
on
is
him.
not British.
Bitch, you dumbass! Like, you should have just not said you were black. Like, nobody would have noticed it.
They are
You could have literally just been white.
kings of racism.
I'm just saying, what the fuck is Quincy Jones's daughter's name?
Rashida Jones.
I had no idea she was black.
You can't. Okay, now I feel like you can tell Rashida Jones is black.
I could tell she was not white. I could tell she was
She's not
something,
white.
but I didn't know she was black. I thought she was like.
I feel like she was in the Rock territory where you like, you know, she might be Greek.
What? Y'all niggas is crazy. No,
Rock's like half black, right?
Yeah.
Rock is Samoan.
No, The Rock
Samoan?
is half black.
And half Samoan?
Yes.
Yeah.
His
But
dad is.
He's a smart media person, because like he's just like, no, I'm a white celebrity. What are you talking about?
No, he is
Notice
a
they.
celebrity.
You notice how
He
many
just
white
makes
people
sure that it's just
want to say
celebrity.
nigga? The Rock can say
That is The
nigga,
Rock's
but he
dad,
doesn't.
Rocky Johnson.
Yeah, he's
That is-
black.
That is
Oh, so he's really like The Rock Jr. then.
yeah.
Okay.
He followed right in his dad's footsteps after he tried to please.
Isn't Roman Reigns like The Rock's like son-in-law or like?
A lot of them are related to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, nepotism.
Yeah. There's a lot of, you look at people's Wikipedia.
I mean,
see, like,
Roman's good at the game.
they have like Randy Orton is like 5 generations of wrestling or some shit. I'm making that up. I'm not making it up, but he has like his father and his grandfather, and then like I don't know how long pro wrestling has existed, but like it's like it goes back in his family.
Yeah, I was
like,
to the early 1900s. I mean,
Wow,
like,
that sounds-
pro wrestling goes all the way
Yeah.
back to like, you know,
So
the
it's a
early
long list?
classical Greek period.
It's a long
Yeah.
list.
But I'm talking
kinda
about
like
the
Vince
fake
McMahon's
wrestling.
sexual allegations, right?
yeah, so what did he get accused of?
Oh, hold on, this is
So let me highlight the one trigger warning. Fair warning. So he was having a threesome with the girl that he was pimping out to everybody.
that is a terrible way to.
I gave a trigger warning.
Oh, so he was like pimping.
Hold on. Having
Thank
a
you.
devil's threesome with the girl he was pimping out to everybody. Took a shit on her back.
Is
Went
that
to go
what she's-
take a shower, but before he went to the shower, says, "Don't stop, keep going for him." And then he goes to take a shower.
So
Was she of legal age?
Yes.
Yes.
So
Okay.
Janelle Grant, a former employee of WWE headquarters, filed a lawsuit against Vince McMahon and the WWE company's former head of talent relations, John Laurinaitis. I don't care to laryngitis. According to court documents, McMahon allegedly pushed Grant into a physical relationship in return for long-promised employment at WWE, which involved forced sexual relationships, sharing of private photos and videos, as well as coercing Grant into having sexual relations with other WWE staffers, including Laurinaitis. McMahon also subjected Grant to acts of extreme cruelty, degradation that caused Grant to dissociate and or become numb to reality in order to survive the horrific encounters as previously mentioned. I also believe that this is part of the reason why, not the entire reason why, that Andre the Giant absolutely fucking hated Vince.
A lot of people hate him though, because he wasn't paying them niggas.
Yeah.
Stone
just-
Cold legitimately
Jesse Ventura.
fucking hates that guy.
Yeah.
Jesse Ventura hates him because Jesse Ventura tried to unionize the WWE
Yep.
and got kicked out.
Yeah, and that's exactly why he got kicked out. Because and you want to know who snitched on that nigga? Hulk fucking
Yep.
Hogan. We watched the same episode or listened to the same episode of Behind the Bastards, probably.
I didn't even listen to that. I heard him talk about it on another podcast.
Oh yeah, no, Robert Evans and Behind the Bastards did like a 3-parter on Vince McMahon.
Great. It's a great podcast for you and our listeners. It's a podcast where Dave
I've heard,
Anthony
yeah.
and Garrett Reynolds.
That's That's the dollop.
The dollop.
Behind the Bastards is Robert Evans
Robert
from
Evans.
Cracked Magazine
Yes.
fame, who does a podcast on terrible people throughout history and like
Yeah.
He
some
had
of
a
the
5-parter on Henry Kissinger.
That reminds me of
Like
there was
right
one,
before he died, too.
one of my favorite podcasts was this now defunct podcast, but there's like hundreds of episodes, probably like 100 episodes if you want to go back and listen to it. Grubstakers. It's about like they do like a different thing on different billionaires.
Ooh.
It is like it makes you realize that like this whole fucking like rags to riches bullshit is just doesn't.
Oh, yeah.
It is not real. All of them were
it's
like born
absolutely
at least millionaires, and they're all terrible people. They all like murdered hella people to get like J.P. Morgan apparently like sold like during the Civil War he sold the Union a bunch of like guns that didn't work.
Yeah.
And then like niggas were dying and like blowing their hands off and shit.
There's no ethical way to become a billionaire.
Nope.
There's absolutely no ethical way to become a billionaire.
And there is
Absolutely.
even less ethical ways to maintain being a billionaire.
Which is why it's not J.P. Morgan. One of them, Carnegie. That's why Carnegie gave away his fortune at the end, because you reach the end of your mile and you're like, wow, I've done some really terrible.
He's like,
shit.
I already have a hall named after me.
Vince will never get there, though. The Behind the Bastards episode is a really great breakdown on all the terrible things Vince McMahon has done. And this is where I was first introduced to the Linda Grant thing and him kind of like pimping her out to other WWE employees. I had not heard the shit thing. Robert did not talk about that.
That just came out.
For good. Oh, okay.
That just came out in the official subpoena.
Vince may also be the reason why Evel Knievel is dead, because him. Yeah,
Wait, what?
Yeah, him and Linda McMahon, if I remember correctly from that Behind the Bastards episode, him and Linda McMahon were behind the promotion and the development of the jump in that gorge that killed Evel Knievel.
Oh.
But he left the company right before the jump happened. So that's how old Vince McMahon is. 2, that's also like how shiesty that nigga is, right? Like I'm sure both him and Linda were like, it took a lot to make the jump happen, and then they pulled an Enron, right? Like they cashed out.
He's so shiesty that the character that he wrote for himself in the WWE was a shiesty businessman.
Yes, that was Vince just being Vince. Right? He like
Slightly related, real quick, then we go back to Vince.
like, do you
Who's more of a daredevil badass, Evel Knievel or Travis Pastrana?
Definitely Travis Pastrana, because Travis Pastrana wasn't a drunk, abusive asshole, as far as we know.
I'm gonna say Evel Knievel because he's dead. I feel like Travis Pastrana hasn't done anything dangerous enough to die yet.
So he definitely jumped out of an airplane with no parachute.
And did
How
He
the
drank
fuck do you do that?
drank a Red Bull,
Wait,
said,
wait,
hope
wait.
this works,
How do
jumped
you
out of an
jump
airplane
out
with no
with no-
parachute.
Would he catch one in the sky or something?
No, somebody dove out after him.
Oh. That's still crazy.
Yeah, that's insane, right?
I feel like that dude.
That's more of a... See, the thing is, though, you're just kind of trust... Like, that's not even a skill thing on your point. That's just like, I trust this guy to fucking catch me.
Yeah, I feel like that dude who jumped from outside the atmosphere. Like, you remember when Red Bull pulled that stunt? Yeah, like that dude who jumped just like right out from the end and like skydived all the way down. That dude, right? Like, Evel Knievel was probably shitting his pants because he was absolutely an alcoholic. But look,
There's some drunk dude at a frat party right now that's more of a daredevil than any of them.
yeah.
There's some guy right now that's doing some fucking crazy ass stunt. Like, he put a firecracker in his ass and lit it or some shit like that.
I'm gonna ride this Segway down this fucking down this like extra steep hill with this fucking what is it, black cat stuck out my ass like it's Jackass in 2003. Yeah, speaking of a Jackass from 2003, Vince McMahon has stepped down just in time for this Netflix deal to be signed, which I think is absolutely when you talk
The
about
Netflix deal went
See, I was thinking,
about
like-
4 days beforehand.
the streaming giant has acquired the rights to WWE's Monday Night Raw, which I don't know will still be on Monday nights, but in a $5 billion deal to be paid out over 10 years as the wrestling group's contract with Comcast nears its expiration. Bloomberg reported the series will begin airing on Netflix in January, so that's by the time you hear this, you should be able to stream Monday Night Raw or Raw.
Wait, I thought I heard it was 2025.
Oh, 2025. Yeah, nope, I'm dyslexic. And will be available to subscribers in North America and other markets.
So it's still going to be live?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
one of the big things. It is still going to be live, and Raw is one of the longest running live shows on television. Only beat out, excluding news networks, being beat out by Saturday Night Live.
Under the deal, Netflix will also stream other WWE specials like SmackDown and the next series, where they develop all their new wrestling entertainment and stuff like that. In addition to hosting the pay-per-view live events. So you will now be able to access WWE pay-per-views from your Netflix streaming site.
So what I'm hearing is my Netflix subscription is going to go up another $1.
Well, this is probably why they preemptively raised their subscription prices, and I
They're
mean,
just gonna have live TV now.
they are like. It seems like they are really trying to like. I feel like go at Disney's neck as
I'm
far
close
as
to
the
reactivating my Max subscription so I can watch the NBA, and more importantly,
You can
so
watch
I
the
can
NBA
watch
on NBA.
inside the NBA.
Yeah, you can. They
Because
have,
as you can see from my shirt, Charles Barkley is A1
Isn't
quality
this just
content
basically
every
cable
time.
again now?
Huh?
it's more boutique cable though, right?
But like the thing is, right? You gotta
Cable
buy.
a la carte.
Now, it was you just got Netflix, right? Now you gotta buy like 18 different streaming services.
Yeah,
You're
no.
basically gonna be paying for the same amount as you would like cable.
Yeah,
You just don't have to watch ads.
And you do, and well, that's why a lot of them come with bundles now, right? Like Disney has that bundle where you get Hulu and ESPN, and a lot of times, like I get the Disney bundle with my Verizon wireless subscription, no plug intended. There does seem to be a consolidation of media going on here with these streaming wars and Netflix grabbing the WWE, which is arguably probably the third largest like sports entertainment market in the United States, right? It's like,
I'd say fourth. I'd probably over hockey, but it's behind football,
definitely-
baseball, and basketball.
I would
I don't
argue,
know. It might be above like baseball now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I would argue at this point it goes football, basketball, wrestling.
Baseball is 162 games a year.
I would still
They
argue
get
that
a lot of
No,
TV revenue.
wait. How 162 games? Was that a game like every other day, basically?
I was getting ready to say
It's about 6 games.
Yeah, you
a
got
week.
Monday Night Raw,
Raw,
Friday Night SmackDown. You got the
yeah.
NXT. Was that Wednesday?
Yeah, I think so. Yep. So I was gonna say wrestling can.
You have to remember, there are 30 baseball teams, all of which play 162 games a year.
I feel
That's
you. There's
true.
still a decent amount of old money, but I'm thinking of.
You're talking
market
about
value.
baseball and old. Yes, baseball is loaded with old money.
Yeah, that's my point. But when it comes to market value, though, nobody's really.
Who's
checking
watching?
For,
Which
yeah,
one's getting more viewers on TV?
I'm serious. Like
WWE.
Shohei Ohtani just got paid more than $500 million, so
That's why the WWE is so lucrative, because they don't pay them niggas anything.
yeah. They don't even have health insurance.
All the other sports leagues have unions and shit. It's like a players
The
union.
baseball union
Yeah.
is the baseball players union is the most powerful union in professional sports.
Really?
Yeah, the Astros fucking cheated to win the World Series, and the union made sure they still kept the trophy. Like, caught cheating. And the union was like, yeah, but they still won.
How bad was the cheating? Like, what kind of cheating was it?
So, telegraphing pitches, like if somebody sees that you're getting a curveball, like they're using cameras from like the back center field to like read the catcher's signals,
Like the Patriots, like
and then
the-
somebody in the tunnel would bang a trash can with a baseball bat to tell the batter that it's like a curveball coming.
I don't know, dude.
Also, the other theory is Jose Altuve had like a patch on him that would like vibrate because during the post-game celebration, he refused to take his jersey off.
Maybe he was just like, I'm cold. Maybe he's like, why is a bunch of niggas with no shirts on in here? Is this a Chief Keef video?
Jeez. I like how Chief Keef, for like the better part of a decade, has basically been the Akatsuki of hip hop.
Wait, who's it? What? The Akatsuki? Whatever, I'll get the rip.
Like Itachi Uchiha, the Red Clouds.
Do you watch a lot of anime?
No.
There you go.
Alright, there
You
you
started
go.
saying more Japanese shit at me. Did you see the video of the guy? It was like some like people, like white people went to like a Japanese restaurant and they like wanted the guy to like sing them like happy birthday for the girl in Japanese. And he's like, Toyota Mitsubishi. Toyota Mitsubishi.
If I was that person, I would have been like, it's the Evangelion.
I can tell you, however, though, I think that you might not understand how international wrestling is. Like, I'm not, at the moment, I'm not
I know,
able
Shusuke's a big deal.
I'm not able to find the exact metrics for the last WrestleMania, but I can tell you that in India alone, the last WrestleMania brought in about 56.1 million viewers in India alone.
That's crazy.
And the World Series, 2022 World Series viewership was 11.94 million
In total?
in total.
Oh shit. Yeah, so wrestling
So
is...
as far as market value is
Globally,
concerned,
you're damn sure you got it.
I think, wrestling, and even in the United States,
I
dude,
will say, to be a pretentious twat, that wrestling and baseball are both big in
Look.
Japan.
I will say, I think that you underestimate the popularity of wrestling because
Yeah.
you don't know anyone with Down syndrome.
and they can't follow baseball. It's too long.
I'm just saying, they all love wrestling.
Yeah, I mean,
John Cena? Dun, 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 dun.
Alright, I'm not gonna lie, that is a meme that I missed.
It's
The surprise
ubiquitous.
John Cena, I
Right.
missed those.
come on, name one baseball meme. You're a fan of baseball? Name one meme.
It's baseball's a serious game. It's not supposed to be mean.
Okay. And wrestling's
It's a
not
serious
real.
sport.
Ooh. Next you're gonna tell me wrestling's not real. Okay. Alright. Get out of here, buddy. I mean, do you remember baseball in the 90s? They were all doped the fuck up.
And it
Like,
was awesome!
yeah. Do you think
It was
those
so fun!
do you think those guys
It was better when they let them take
Dingers
steroids, I'm not gonna
everywhere,
lie.
Yes, if they let people take steroids, then maybe baseball could compete with professional wrestling because professional wrestlers also compete clean, right?
Alright, so I'm gonna give you your point here. I'm going to also be a contrarian twat while still conceding your point. Baseball's rule changes in the past year have made the game way more fun to watch. Like they added a pitch clock, which is essentially like the shot clock for baseball. So the pitcher has a certain amount of time to have to throw the next pitch, which prevents the guy like durdling around for a minute and a half before he throws the next fucking pitch. They've limited the amount of times that somebody can go visit the mound, which also cuts it. More or less, they did a bunch of things that
make
speed
it not
up the
boring.
game. I went to a baseball game last season. Baseball games typically start at 7:05, and I think I got out by like 10:20, which is wild because I used to be getting out almost at midnight to go to games.
Well, I mean, from
years before that.
a game that came from cricket, right? And cricket matches can take like days. I'm not surprised that baseball runs long.
One of the beauties is baseball is technically the game can go on forever.
I didn't think I would see the day where Vince McMahon's reign over sports entertainment would come to an end, but as we've seen with Diddy recently, I think...
I love that we call it sports entertainment because of the WWE.
Oh, yeah, no,
It's like the one sport that's like a fake sport.
yeah, and everybody is okay with it, right?
I'm
Like,
actually going
we
to say
all-
Diddy's probably into some wild shit, but I don't have Diddy trigger warning, taking a shit on somebody's back, going to take a shower, and before he goes in through the door, actually, I can totally see Diddy doing this.
Casey has entered the chat, or Cassie has entered the chat. I
was halfway through that sentence and
When I was
realized,
in, like-
you know what? Diddy would
Speaking of
absolutely
shits,
do this.
Our new Baltimore Raven, Odell Beckham, right? I was watching a DJ Academics live stream when I was in like high school.
That's your first problem.
But some stripper was like, yeah, he paid me to take a shit on his chest.
That's what the Instagram models was saying. They get flown out to Dubai to do, right?
Yeah.
The Saudi princes like they get coked up and get into some freaky shit up in the penthouses. Apparently, rich people think that money means that you can also physically abuse people, and I hope that
A lot of the times it does.
I hope that, baseball, as it will have a chance to recover now that these allegations will probably stir up the wrestling market a little bit, can also calm down its sexual abuse allegations.
I mean, if we're talking about rich people being able to get away with things, I suppose it does come with a price tag. Ask Donald Trump and his now defunct $83 million that he has to pay to E. Jean Carroll.
Who is that? Is that an alligator?
No, Eugene Carroll.
She's alleging things?
E. Jean Carroll
is an American journalist who worked with Donald Trump on some interviews where he sexually harassed her. When she filed complaints against it, he defamed her, and now
she was awarded $5 million in damages the first time. But Donald Trump wouldn't shut the fuck up, so she sued him again for defamation, and this time was awarded $83 million, which I believe, if I remember, over $50 million of it was punitive damages, which is something that is given in excess to what the plaintiff was asking for. So this is something that the jury deemed was necessary over top of what she was even asking for. They were like, no, Donald Trump fucked up so much that we're going to have him pay an extra $50 million.
Bro, this Trump shit is so crazy. We literally have to try not to cover Trump news because we could do an entire episode on all this stuff that...
Every single week.
It's part of the
Honestly, now that I hear about all these settlements, I'm going to just kind of start going around celebrities and just getting drunk and taking my pants off and just falling on the floor.
Well, according
I'm gonna just fall on the floor of my ass and don't take it, man.
According to Quentin Tarantino, the going rate for punching somebody as a celebrity is what? I think he said $50,000.
To get away with it?
Yeah,
you can get away with anything if you pay enough money.
Usually you can settle with the person for $50,000 after punching him in the face.
You can get a celebrity to punch you, it'll cost you.
Bro, remember Diddy hit his fucking son's fucking football coach with a kettlebell?
Yo, he smacked J. Cole.
Kendrick Lamar.
He smacked Kendrick Lamar. He smacked Drake. This nigga Diddy don't give a fuck, bro.
Kendrick Lamar was the only one that was the same size as him. That's how you know he has money. You smacking niggas that could beat the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Cause J. Cole was tall, right?
Yeah.
So don't Diddy.
He plays basketball in
Diddy got
Africa.
Jump.
Bro, there's gonna be a story out. Yeah, did he smack Mike Tyson?
Who?
I feel like Mike Tyson might be one of the few people that Diddy is not bold enough to slap.
I just saw a video where it was Bobby Brown doing, I don't know if it was the Breakfast Club or what, but he was talking about he might be the reason why Mike Tyson lost to Buster Douglas because they were out partying and he was like, I just kept telling Mike, go to bed. Right? Go to bed, Mike. And Mike was like, I'm not tired. I'm trying to party. I'm not tired. Stop telling me to go to bed, Bobby.
This sounds like a fucking story that Billy Corgan told about with Dennis Rodman in the finals for the Bulls.
And I when I saw the interview originally, my dyslexia kicked in and I read it as Bobby Shmurda, right? And I was like, Bobby Shmurda is the reason why Mike Tyson lost to Buster Douglas. And I was like, hey, yo, Now I need like an internet trend to pop up where like Bobby Shmurda is the reason why like certain internet things happen or certain historical events happen. I was like the reason why Michael
This
Jackson.
sounds like a base god like variant.
Listen, the reason why Michael Jackson only got one glove is because Bobby Shmurda took it, right?
Bobby Shmurda threw his other glove in the air and it just never came down.
And Michael's like, no, Bobby, now I gotta go on stage with one glove.
Bobby, where are you going? Oh, I have a bit I gotta do.
The reason why Franz Ferdinand got murdered, right, is because Bobby was in the car driving making the driver take the wrong turn. It's like the whole reason World War II happened, right? Listen, like
The whole reason the Valkyrie assassination plot on Hitler didn't work was because Bobby grabbed the wrong briefcase as he was walking out.
it's
Bobby
like-
was at the Boston Tea Party. He was like, bro, they got weed on the ship, bro. We gotta get that shit.
And then they got on the ship. It was like ain't no weed, so they just started throwing the tea over because they was mad. Bobby Shmurda is like
nigga, this all fentanyl, bro. We gotta get
it's like Bizarro Forrest Gump.
bizarre.
Meanwhile, Bobby Shmurda be walking into Buckingham Palace and be like, yo, Henry VIII, Anne Boleyn chick, she a hoe.
There's
Speaking
nothing
of
wrong with
hoes,
being a hoe, Dan. Don't slut shame. It's 2024. Women can do whatever they want.
As long as Trump pays $83 million for it.
Yeah.
Shit. I think this is about in the episode where I usually say, we'll never get that NPR sponsor.
Yeah, we'll never get that NPR sponsorship. I actually needed to give an impromptu championship ring.
With 3 in the bottom of 9th inning to become the world champions yet again.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible!
Got a really big team, and they need some really big rings. They need some really nice things. Better be coming with no strings. Better.
From a fact that I discovered this week, I'm giving my championship ring to the state of Florida.
Really?
Okay.
The state of Florida. What? Why?
Because Ron DeSantis dropped out?
No.
Because he took
Do
the
you want
heels
to know
off?
why Florida man stories are such a meme?
Uh-huh.
It's because Florida has a completely open public record, including 911 calls
Yes, that
and
is true.
all of these things, which is in their state constitution. And
they televise their trials on TV, their court trials.
Yeah.
like you can get transcripts for all of this. So I actually want to give a championship ring to the state of Florida. Because that is something that should be the norm.
Yeah.
And if that was the norm, we wouldn't have just Florida man stories. We would just have man stories.
True. Speaking of Florida, too, how the fuck can Ron DeSantis be anti-trans but the nigga wears heels all the time?
Listen.
Now I know you're practicing a bit.
I just came up with that one.
That's just Republicans, bro. Like, they've been doing this shit. Pushing all the gay bills and then fucking the pool boy. Like,
Yeah.
We'll fight the woke in the streets.
and then be a freak in the sheets. I want to give a championship ring to Nightshade, a new tool developed in the tech industry to help combat AI-generated models pulling from their data to develop new and to commit fraud.
This is
And-
actually one of the coolest developments I have seen about AI, especially with how hilarious it is. So, Teddy, are you familiar with the concept of the poison pill?
I heard it used before. Give me an explainer of what it is.
Okay, so like in a spy movie, a spy would have like a poison pill in their tooth.
Yeah.
If they get caught, they just bite the poison pill and they die. And then...
Right. And they can't get interrogated.
This AI thing is now essentially watermarking people's digital art with a poison pill. So when an AI algorithm tries to pick up off of it, it distorts the image that the AI is picking up on.
So Ben Zhao, a professor at the University of Chicago, led a team that created Nightshade and says that it hopes that it will help tip the power and the balance back from AI companies towards the artist. Zhao's team developed another system called Glaze that also allows artists to do what they call masking their own personal style to prevent it from being scraped by the AI companies for data modeling and stuff like that. And the Nightshade exploits a security vulnerability in generative AI models, according to the Technology Review article, that uses little pixels that are indistinguishable from like the human eye, but when a computer is trying to, or a computer program is trying to examine the data that is the picture, it completely distorts the way that the software would interpret the picture, so it turns like dogs into cows and ducks into horses and things like that.
And the best part is the coding stays with that picture. So the more the AI cannibalizes these images, the more and more it is
Just
convinced
fucks up the
that
AI.
a horse is a duck.
Yeah, and Nightshade also not only just affects the images, but it also affects words associated with the images. So if the AI is looking for dog models, anything associated with dogs, such as puppy, husky, wolf, those words will also be corrupted, and will just continue to create corrupted images from it.
So it not only protects your own work, but it also is an extra fuck you for everybody else.
Yeah, I think we should get rid of this AI shit. I want to know who the fuck the dude was that watched every fucking dystopian fucking futuristic movie that's ever existed and be like, yo, I want to make that shit.
Ridley Scott. The answer is Ridley Scott.
He's a director though.
Yeah, he made Blade Runner.
No, I mean like the scientists. Who are the scientists that made Blade Runner and just like, this seems like a good idea.
Oh,
like the
yeah,
niggas that
do it.
watched like iRobot. Somebody watched iRobot and is like, bro.
Elon Musk. No, dude, it is.
You
really,
said the actual truth.
it is really weird to me how some people watch sci-fi and then get like this real like anarchist nihilistic perspective, and
Yeah.
it's accelerationism, right? Where they're like, we just have to push. Accelerationism really confuses me. People who see something scary and they're like, I should make it so that we get closer to that thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's a weird perspective to take on for me. And, like...
They did it wrong in the movie. I could do it right, though.
AI is... It sucks that AI has developed in the time that we're in now. Like, if this came out in, like, the Y2K days...
Man, I think Allen Iverson was a phenomenal player.
I said that, too. Listen, that's
I have to check myself every time I see the acronym. I'm like, Allen Iverson. Like, oh, fuck.
But if artificial intelligence had come out at the beginning of the internet boom in like the early 2000s, I think it wouldn't be so dumb, right? Like now we're using it to make sex tapes of Taylor Swift at Chiefs games and stuff like
Look,
that.
that's not dumb. Alright. All this other work bullshit, we're gonna have it fucking do math for you, that's dumb.
I think that
AI.
That's useful for me.
I was gonna say, I think that's what AI will eventually. Once
AI
all the hype
exists so I
dies
can
down-
see Beyonce naked finally.
Once all the hype dies down, I think AI will be essentially like your TI-83 calculator in your phone, right? Like you will use it to make spreadsheets so you don't have to waste hours making spreadsheets.
Does the TI...
I just want to say the whole TI-83 comment to our two patrons, Enraged Peacock and Bari Laquari, for supporting this podcast.
Shout out to our patrons, and you can find us
Hell
at
yeah.
Patreon at the Flood Pod, and you can find us everywhere at the Flood Pod, and that's on
Everything.
as I stated previously. No, I
I
think
do have a question though. TI-83 calculators. Do they do the math expeditiously?
that's good.
I got an answer when I hit the enter button.
That is a good one. No, I feel like AI is a tool that is being marketed as a commodity right now, kind of the same way Elon Musk marketed the Tesla in the beginning, right? He was like, look at this cool, new, futuristic, like, this, we are really in the future now, and I'm bringing it forth to you.
For all of our listeners, check out r/real Tesla owners.
I feel like now, though, we're stuck in the dumb apocalypse. Like we're stuck in the idiocracy timeline.
Yes.
Where we're literally only one election from having The Rock run for president. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't.
Bro, niggas have been trying to get him to run for president. Yeah. I was like, bro, are you? This is literally
Saturday Night Live made a whole skit. It would be The Rock and Tom Hanks as the ticket.
You think
that might actually happen?
I feel like with the way this timeline is going, The Rock would probably just pick Kevin Hart.
And they
but then he's gonna lose the comedian vote.
He would lose Cat Williams' vote.
I don't know. I was gonna say I don't know because I think Kevin Hart got Dave Chappelle on his side now, and it's like.
As a comedian, I have nothing bad to say about any bigger comedians that could possibly give me an opportunity in the future. So
I don't think you have said on the podcast. I think that is the wild. I think AI is a good tool. I think it is a tool that will get us closer to like a system of living
where kill all of us.
Right. I think it is a tool that could get us to a system of living where we are able to do more things that we find fulfilling, right? Like it'll take the mediocrity out of living because a lot of workforce stuff right now is just clerical entry level like bullshit. But it is also creating a problem in us having to come to terms with that because like once you use robots and AI for remedial labor, then you have to take bachelor's degree requirements off of like job listings and stuff right there. Cause like
I don't.
How is it gonna like? How are we gonna proceed forward?
What are people gonna fucking do?
That's my point, right? Like, what are we gonna do, right? And I think rich people have kind of figured it out. That's why they let COVID rock so long. But this isn't gonna become the new Alex Jones podcast.
Hitler was an awful person.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Nightshade is good because I don't like AI coming for one of the things that makes us human.
Yes.
Right? Like art is an expression of your perception of existing.
Like
right?
My opinion on generative image AI is it's really cool for something that I would never want to pay an artist for and would almost feel disrespectful for asking them to make.
Unless they were like handicapped and you used to be a painter and you wish you could paint again.
So like Hitler.
But, like
a lot of the AI images do look like they're made by somebody who was handicapped though.
Yeah, because like
they literally look like you look at them and you're like they don't have a soul.
Them niggas have 6 fingers.
Oh, dude, that too.
I'm right in like 34 teeth. I feel like
how many teeth?
I probably wouldn't notice that one.
How many teeth do we have? 32.
Is it 32?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
I think it was counting.
Can we make that joke without
I
right
counted
answer?
every single tooth.
I was gonna say I know there's like there's a dentist that listens to our podcast just now that was like you just listed the right number of teeth, you dumbass. Anyway, I do feel like AI doing things that are supposed to express a like human perception feels kind of like the weird way to take this avenue. Right, but with the like level of scammerism that is rising up, and I'm not super surprised that people jumped on this right around the time that NFTs were out, because like, duh, I'm gonna take AI and make a bunch of NFTs, right, and like you'll never get them again.
NFTs were a giant scam. They could have
been a good
something.
Thing. It could have been a good way to really like legitimize digital art.
Windows key, Shift, S.
Also,
drag, save.
The idea of an NFT was a good idea, but the thing is,
in
like,
theory.
Well, in theory, but it's also just like it doesn't work until the government legitimizes it. It won't work because it's like if you're trying to buy equity in art, you can technically buy somebody's masters or something like that.
There's even there's basically a Philip DeFranco actually advertised it. It's like an investment website where you basically buy portions of a painting.
Whatever happened with the fucking Dame Dash was trying to sell his portion of Jay-Z's Reasonable Doubt as an NFT, I think, like a few years ago.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What? But I think like Jay-Z was suing him over it. Like you can't fucking do that.
Also, Jay-Z got the money to just literally. I'm sure that deposition went. All right, Jay, just fucking pay me for it. And he was like, "You a hoe for this."
Have you ever heard of the Jay-Z Pimp C conspiracy?
The one where Pimp C didn't want to be on Big Pimpin' because he thought Jay said some gay shit.
Yo, there's a crazy one. So, you know Beyonce is from Houston, right?
Yeah.
Pimp C apparently used to date Beyonce or some shit like that. He had a sex tape of Beyonce. Allegedly, Jay-Z paid him to get the sex tape, right? But then Pimp C started going around telling people that he had a copy of it. So then apparently, allegedly, Jay-Z paid Jay Prince to have like a hooker go into Pimp C's hotel room and drug him and kill him. That's the conspiracy. I don't know if that's true.
I wouldn't be surprised. Jay Prince got connections. Jay Prince is able to shut a lot of shit down. Jay Prince made Drake calm down.
Allegedly.
No, not allegedly. That's some real shit. Jay Prince came out and said, "Yeah, no, I told Young Buck to sit down because a lot of people gonna get hurt if this goes any further." Right? Like,
you think Jay Prince had something to do with Jamie Foxx?
No, but there's lots of people that wonder if Jay Prince had something to do with
I'm still wondering why nobody from Jay Prince's family has gone to prison over the whole fucking Offset thing. Not the
That's
Offset Takeoff.
exactly what I was about to say.
The Takeoff shit was real, because apparently I was okay. There's some niggas on YouTube who are like connected in Houston that was going to calling around and doing a lot of research in this shit.
Yeah.
And it was like Jay Prince apparently like grew up with the nigga that's like the head of the police or some shit in Houston or some shit like that. Like he's like connected.
Yeah, he is.
That whole shit was over like that. There's a whole lot of
game of dice from what I heard.
It's not.
It wasn't just a game of what they be doing, bro.
The record label is not called Mob Ties for no reason. Jay Prince, like,
it's extortion, bro. It's extortion. What they be doing is, bro, they be fucking bringing. They bring celebrities down there, and they be like, no, don't bring your security. We'll be your security, right? They get you in a situation.
Gang affiliated now.
Yeah, you're gang affiliated as security guards, right? You get in a situation, right?
Should we be telling him this?
Time out. I have something to say when he's
We're
done.
in the entertainment industry. You should know this. So they get there. You're around a bunch of gang niggas with guns and shit. You playing dice, and they start cheating. They start fucking doing some shit. They scam you out a bunch of money. You can't do nothing.
I just want to
it's
say,
they're like, you owe us, like you lost 50,000 in dice. You gotta pay us.
Yep.
To this
What
point,
you gonna
it
do?
could be a Diddy party or the Epstein Island. Continue.
No, this is just hood politics, bro.
Yeah.
This is how the shit works in hip hop, bro. This is how lots of these rappers get to claim the street life, right?
Yeah.
Like, they go to these hoods and they check in, right? And when you check in, you get fucking extorted.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, yo, you can claim that you rock with the set. This is what Meg was talking about when she called Drake a fucking cosplay gangster.
Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah.
That was the whole shit.
Yeah. They
It's
let
like-
this nigga claim, because he washed their money. Nigga, like, that's how, like, listen. This shit
Juice
is...
WRLD too. Juice WRLD was a suburban dude, right? Started hanging out with No Limit. That was like G Herbo shit, Chicago. Started claiming No Limit. Started dissing like GDs and shit on No Limit, saying No Limit and shit.
Oh, all these...
And then when he gets caught, the way he dies, because he took some pills he had trying to hide him from police, but they found like pounds of weed on his plane. The nigga was like transporting drugs and shit. Bro.
Listen, Nelly got caught up on that shit. They raided Nelly tour bus. There was heroin and shit all on that bus. Listen, it get heavy, right? And a lot of the times this shit goes unnoticed unless you really like dig into it, because I mean, at this point, hip hop and the gangster narrative in the gangster world are so like ingrained that people forget there are other kinds of hip hop that you can listen to.
Sometimes it goes all the way to the top, even of the state. Let's tell you about the Trump White House ordering ketamine and morphine after this break.
Morphine?
Did you rhyme that on purpose?
Look, it's a flood. It's flooding.
Get away.
Quick, we need to get to higher ground.
Open the floodgates.
talk about
It
black
is
stuff.
time to